Yeah, well, I'm Ryan, owner and director at Stannard Family Homes. We're here with Nick Maloney, a customer that we built a custom shack for. And Nick was actually probably half the reason why Stannard Family Homes has moved into the Murraylands anyway. So discussions with Nick about when the water was rising, and he was chatting to me about, you know, Ryan, would you go up and build my shack? So we started designing his new shack when the water was still in his old shack. So yeah, but what made you choose us over a project builder?
I think building a property is always a pretty emotional decision, but for us it was, because it was our river property and it had been really badly destroyed, it was probably even more important for us that we found the right person who understood what we were looking for. So my wife and I own this with our brother and sister and their kids, and we've got 5 kids between us, and so we just wanted to make sure it was someone who actually understood the riverland and how we use the property. Someone that we could trust was really, really important to us, because we knew it was going to be a lengthy process, and it was going to be a pretty emotional process because the kids are getting older and they're right in those years where we'd pictured being with them at the river. So they were probably the real things that went into our decision making process, and just knowing that we were going to get something, we're going to end up with something that was what we wanted, just not what we were sort of directed to have, I suppose. They were the things that were good. And obviously I'd met you a few times before and I'd seen some of your work, and I said to the family, I think that Stannard Family Homes are the ones to use, because they're river people to start with, they're great builders for secondary, and they'll just get what we're doing.
Yeah. Beautiful. And do you feel like during the design process, I was there to listen to the things that you needed in a shack? Definitely,
yeah. We had lots of ideas, and we sort of had a basic layout, but it was good to be able to just come in and go, sort of explain what our vision was, and then be able to work through you to go, well, I think we could do this, and I think we could do that, and that would make this part better, and it would accentuate the bit you're trying to do there. Or there's a couple of things where you sort of said, yep, I can see what you're trying to do, but I reckon if we make this part a bit bigger and make that part a bit smaller and make this work this way, it'll just make the whole home flow. So it was great for us because we had a vision, we had an understanding, but we're not builders. And so that two-way discussion was really important. And importantly, you weren't just dealing with one person, you were dealing with 4 different people. So we had 4 different ideas, and at the end of the day, my wife decided everything anyway. Yeah. But no, we won't say that.
Yeah.
But it was good that we were able to have those discussions and come out with something that everyone was happy with.
Yeah, Tanya rang me a few times and said, yeah, this is the final decision. This is the final decision. Yeah. But we were able to get there in the end.
The last one before the next one.
Yeah, before the next one. But we were able to get there in the end.
And it was important to us that you understood that it wasn't just one person ruling the roost, and you accommodated that really well. Yeah. Must have been frustrating at times, but you did accommodate.
No, it was good, because you were all very clear on what you wanted, and I tried to listen, but also what I was trying to do through listening to everything that you guys were saying was trying to accommodate the budget, like trying to make sure we didn't blow the budget. So the guys had given me a pretty strict budget that we had to work to, and we were over it by a bit, but we worked out, and it was the lesser of the evils of we're going to spend this or we're not going to quite get what we wanted, and you guys were great to understand that. So. How did you find the design and selections process with us?
Yeah, really, really good. So in my mind, there were 2 elements to this. I think the structural engineering was a real example of where we had a picture and then you went away and you actually came back to us with a solution that was just much better than anything we discussed, because you'd gone through and really thought about it. And that was, when you look at the property now, you sort of look from the back right through the river, and the river is obviously a really key part of everything we're doing.
Yep.
So the way that you worked with the engineers and you actually removed one whole row of steel infrastructure, created those massive portals, which are now like a really key feature for us.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. That whole underneath area is better than we ever thought. And then in terms of the internal design and selection, that was really good, because Mel and Tanya and Tim and I were involved in it, but Mel and Tanya had a really clear picture of sort of colourings and tones and everything. So they, and coming and working with Sarah on that, like coming here first of all and being able to work work through it at a kind of a high level, but then we went and visited the tile shop and actually looked and did all those selections on the spot. And everything else, it just flowed very well. Again, I just felt there was really good communication between us and your team.
Yep.
And then taking us being able to see it and physically touch it and compare our colours. Sarah also gave us some great options on different materials we could think how to look at when it came to floor coverings or the coverings for the balcony, thinking about design as well as practicality. Because we tried to keep the property as low maintenance as we could. So yeah, look, I was really impressed with it, and particularly she was able to help Tanya and Mel and Tim and I just come to the right agreement around that colour there, this bit here, that bit there. Yeah, it was really good.
And the level of inclusions that we had included in your build for the start, how did you find them? Like there wasn't to be too many upgrades to get what you wanted in the home.
No, it really came down to, again, I guess those first conversations we had with you about what we were trying to achieve. You'd already included most of those things in from the get-go, so it wasn't like, oh, you want another wall there, or you know, there's this. It was like most of those things were there, and then it was just those final bits of finesse at the end that came through to say, well, it's probably worth investing some more money here, and over there we'll do this and we'll do that. So yeah, we found it again really quite a simple process. And because we obviously had, after we discussed with you, we went on and discussed together and made decisions, and it helped, to me it really helped our decision making process as well, just having someone to give us that advice and that second opinion and back up what we were thinking with, this is what we'll actually do.
Yeah. And I guess this is a good one. With building a home, things don't always go to plan, and building a home is the most amount of money anyone's ever going to spend in their life. So there are moments where things didn't go to plan, and how did we help you navigate that?
Yeah, and I guess for us, you know, our old place, our old shack was a shack, and we had spent 20 years building it, and we built a lot of that ourselves. Now, we're not builders, but we understood how badly things can go wrong, which is probably why we tried to really communicate up front.
Yeah.
And so we expected there to be challenges, and to be honest, in the whole scheme of things, I don't think there were that many challenges. Because we kept that communication going, there was a bit of a bit of time that we had to spend on the concrete downstairs, which was just some mistakes were made by the guys. They made just a bad call on the day, but eventually it got sorted. And our main thing was, I never doubted that it was going to be okay, and it was going to get sorted out. So, and I think the communication and trust was there. They're the two biggest things for me.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, now we'll go into that concrete. The concrete just didn't have the right finish on it. So at Stannard Family Homes, I'm big on everyone makes mistakes. It's how you go about fixing them. Yep. So we went and we honed the whole top off the concrete, and now they've got a premium product free of charge, which looks great. So. Yeah. So, but I think the key in that is the trust. You've got to trust the people that you're working with. So, what would you say to someone who's feeling nervous about starting building a new family shack?
Yeah, I think the first thing is you've got to find somebody who actually understands what you're trying to achieve. The river is a very specific lifestyle. If you've been there before, you'll know that. If you haven't been there before, you're going to learn that really quickly. So I think for us, it was a huge thing knowing we had people who actually understood that river lifestyle experience. Yeah. The second thing is, if you've got a bit of a picture and then you can engage with someone you can communicate and trust with, they're the big things. It's easy to say, but often builders will tell you that it's going to cost you this amount, knowing that this amount is actually going to end up at that amount. So for us, it was really important that we had some conversations up front to say, guys, we just can't achieve that with what you've got, but here's what we can do. And we were all really clear on that conversation, and it was really important because, like everyone, you've got a budget you have to work to have more. But it was really important that we knew that, all right, so if we do that, we either have to find more money or we have to think of a different way. And again, we just had that conversation. So there was a lot of trust in that conversation. it was important to us, we got a fixed price contract.
Yes.
And so we knew when it was all said and done, it was all really clear. This is what Stannard Family Homes are going to do, this is what you're going to do, this is when that's going to happen. If there are any variations, this is how it works, this is how it goes through. And so everyone was really clear up front. And we had a couple of variations through, and it worked exactly like you said. We wanted to do a small upgrade to the air conditioning just because we wanted a bigger unit.
Yeah.
Really clear through the builder trend system that you use. It all came through, it was as quoted, you accept it, and then away you go. You made sure that we had all of our finance approvals and things in place, so it just worked. And I think that's really important because we've got some friends that are building on the river at the moment, and I can tell you that their experience has not been as clear cut as that.
Yeah.
And some of them are running into issues now where they're halfway through the build, and now some of these issues are starting to come out, and it's really turning into quite a uncomfortable feeling for them. Again, we've seen that happen in the past, and we just didn't want that to be the case for this place, because it's more about the long term than the money, but the money is always the conversation you've got to have, because you just got to know where you're at.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And that through that design phase, I always say I play the good cop, bad cop. So you come to me with your ideas, and then I'll tell you that you can't have them. Yeah. But it's not that you can't have them. It's like I'll go through the pros and cons of what it takes to get to where we need, and I think with what we've done at your place, we've been able to get. I don't think we've compromised on too much at all, and we've got you nearly what you want. So, So now that you're in your home or in your new shack, what's your favourite space or feature, and the thing that makes you say this was all worth it?
Our old place started as a 2-bedroom shack, right, like asbestos shack. It was what you would traditionally call shack. We built onto it over the years, but one of the things we'd never been able to do, really, because of council rules and everything and budgets, all the rooms were really small.
Yeah.
Right?
Even made it 2-story by digging out the ground.
Yeah, we dug out underneath, and we'd done all sorts of stuff. We were creative, I will say that.
Yeah. And that's what a shack's all about.
Correct.
Until they all got destroyed.
Yeah.
And then we have to rebuild them now to the current council guidelines and specs. You can't rebuild what you had.
No, that's right. No, you can't. And so one of the things we did with this place, and I know we had a few discussions around this, we designed everything to be just that bit bigger. So our master bedrooms at the back, so Tanya and myself and Tim and Mel, who are both joint owners in the shack, we've got these beautiful masters with en-suites, which are really roomy. I know you said to us they're too big, but that was one thing. That's right. But they've come up really, really well. The back balcony is something that we discussed a lot, and we're just so happy with it. Yeah. The whole living area at the front we knew was going to work, because we'd only just finished that in our old place before the flood started, and the balcony. We knew that was going to work. I guess the bit I've been most pleased at is the downstairs area. Yeah. Like, we've now got this huge amount of space that we sort of had in the shed underneath before. Yeah. But we've just got this space. The concrete is beautiful now. The ramp down the front that is the front lawn, it's just. Yeah. It just works.
And I guess that's another thing, that when we were designing Nick's place, it starts off higher at the back and moves down towards the river, and they initially wanted to try and make the whole underneath of the shack ramp down to the river. Yeah. And then I worked for it. I'm like, if we lower it a little bit at the back, and then we can get the whole lot to be flat from front to back. Yeah. And I think that now makes the shack, doesn't it? Because the whole lot is a dead flat usable space, and then it ramps down to the river.
Yeah, and it's easy to walk down. It's not too steep, and
yeah. And I think the people building next to you and next to them will thank us for it, because theirs will end up the same.
Yeah, they definitely will. Yeah. I mean, that was another thing we didn't even talk about in the early stages. You came out, and I got all of our neighbours together, because we were trying to work out how was it going to work, and so because all of our neighbours are really close, and having you there, this is before any of the soil was there or anything, so it was really hard to visualise. You were able to walk us through, well, if you try and do that ramp and we go from here to here, that's what it'll look like. Yeah. And then we went to council as a group of shack owners on the back of your advice, and the council were like, well, you've actually got 6 shack owners to agree on this, and they signed off as quick as possible.
Yeah, we stood out there with the laser level and set all the heights with all the neighbours, and I was running around from here to there, having a beer and having a chat, and we got there in the end.
Yeah. So no, it was really good, and now I'd say that's definitely one of our favourite spaces. Is the whole thing, but the underneath it's awesome. We got the bathroom down there and the laundry, and it's so good.
And I think the other thing that is worth mentioning is if the water starts to rise now, other than the fact that you're going to miss your shack for that period of time the water rises, we're never going to need to worry about another flood again.
Shouldn't have to. No, I think if it gets into the top of our place, I reckon the whole of the Adelaide Plains is gone, because we did go very tall.
Yeah, so we built to the maximum height that the council would allow us. So that then if it floods, we want to be as far away from it as we can. So
And even the way you design the roof pitch to have a really flat pitch on it to get us that extra space underneath.
Yeah, and you don't even notice it. You can't see the roof from anywhere.
No, I mean, that's one of the things I was just thinking about too when we did our design. We were concerned about would it look out of proportion, and the way you designed it, and then with that fascia, that gutter fascia, and just the way that looks. When you look at it from underneath, you've just got this beautiful black gutter fascia with our sort of white walls, and it just works. It just works so well.
No, that's good. Oh, well, thanks for coming in and having a chat. Anyway, Nick, and it's been an absolute privilege of mine to design and build your custom shack, and I know your family will enjoy it.
We'll enjoy it for many years coming.
Thank you. I'll come down and have a beer in my boat, park it up out the front. All good.
And thanks for everything you've done. It's been great, and we couldn't ask for more.
Beautiful. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Oh.